Hi everyone, this is the Scala setup assignment for CMSC 405 programming languages, and in this assignment we are going to be installing the Scala binary and also the Eclipse plugin for Scala. We're going to be using version 2.11.2 of the Scala binary, and in just a few moments we're going to be going out to the URL that I have included on this slide, and we will be downloading the installer for the Scala binary. In this assignment I'm going to be asking you at various times to take screenshots of what you're doing, so please make sure at those points you take a screenshot, you save it off somewhere, because you will be uploading the screenshots that I ask you to take as part of your deliverable for this assignment. After we have the Scala binary installed and also the Scala plugin for Eclipse installed, we are going to create two small Scala projects using Eclipse, and you will be uploading those projects as part of this assignment as well. So let's get started. We're going to begin by downloading the Scala binary and then running the installer to set it up on our laptop. So I'm going to go out to the URL that's included on this slide. Here it is, www.scala-lang.org/download/2.11.2.html. Okay, and we are going to be using version 2.11.2 of the Scala binary. So I'm going to save the Scala installer in my downloads directory. This will take a few seconds. Okay, so it looks like the Scala installer has downloaded. I'm going to go out to my downloads directory, and there it is. I'm going to run it, and basically next, through all of the screens in the Scala Setup Wizard without making any changes to the default options that are offered. Okay, at this point I would like you to take a screenshot of the completed Scala Setup Wizard. And after you've taken a screenshot, you can push on Finish. And if you want to, just to double check that Scala is up and running, you can go into the Programs and Features of your control panel and scroll down. And you should see something like this. There we have Scala installed here on my laptop, so you should see something like that. Okay, but now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Eclipse and we're going to set up the plugin for Scala. Okay, so you want to go up to the Help drop-down option and you want to select the option for Install New Software. And at the top of the install window, you want to push the Add button. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back out into the PowerPoint presentation where I have the URL listed for the Eclipse plugin for Scala. There it is. So we're going to copy that URL. We're going to go back into Eclipse, into the Add Repository window, and in the Location field, we're going to plug in that URL. And in the name field, we're simply going to type Scala. And we're going to push on OK. Okay. Now, back in the install window, you should see listings, different listings for Scala IDE. Might take a little bit longer for you to see these listings than it did for me. If it does, just hang in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to select the first Scala listing, Scala IDE for Eclipse. You can check the checkbox beside Scala IDE for Eclipse. And then you can push on the next button. Okay, and I would like to ask you to take a screenshot of the Install Details window. Please take a screenshot of the Install Details window, and after you've saved that screenshot off somewhere, you can push the next button again. And then accept the license agreements. And I would like you to take a screenshot of the Review Licenses window and save that off somewhere. And then you can push Finish. Okay, you will need to restart Eclipse for the changes to take effect, so answer yes to the Software Updates dialog. And Eclipse will start back up again. And at this point, what I would like to ask you to do is to create a new workspace for Scala. Okay, so what we could name the new workspace is Workspace-Kepler-Scala. So I would like you to create a new workspace for all of your Scala projects. You can name it Workspace-Kepler-Scala. I'd like you to take a screenshot of the Workspace Launcher dialog, please, and save that screenshot off somewhere. And then once you have the screenshot saved off, you can push on the OK dialog. Okay, so we're getting a dialog that says Run Scala Setup Diagnostics Upgrade of Scala Plugin Detected. We're going to answer yes to this dialog. Okay, and in the Setup Diagnostics window, we don't need to make any changes. We're going to simply push on OK. Okay, and we'll get Eclipse set up again. Okay, we can close the startup screen, and what we're going to do is we are going to open the Scala perspective. So go up to the window drop-down option, select Open Perspective, and then select Other. And we're going to scroll down, and you should see an option for Scala. Select that. But before you push on OK, I'd like you to take a screenshot of this window. Okay, and after you've taken a screenshot of this window, you can push on OK. You'll notice a few changes in the background to the way that the windows are laid out. Just a few changes. Okay. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up our first Scala project. So go up to the File drop-down option, select New, and then select Scala Project. And we're going to name this project My First Scala Project. You can push on the Finish button. Okay, and over in the Package Explorer window, you should see My First Scala Project listed there. And underneath of it, there is a source folder named SRC. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a package to that source folder. So select it, highlight it, do a right click, and then select New, and then Package. And we're going to name the package My First Scala Project, all lowercase, and push Finish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a Scala object to the package. So select Package, highlight it, do a right click, select New from the pop-up that appears, and then select Scala Object. And in the Create a New Scala Object window, we're going to name the Scala object, and we'll just name it My First Scala Project. And down below where it says which method stubs would you like to create, make sure you put a check mark beside the public static void main. We would like a main method to be created in this Scala object. And once you've done that, you can push on Finish. And behind the scenes, Eclipse is generating a Scala object for us, and now we can see it loaded in the code editor. Okay, we can also see it listed underneath of the package. But what I want you to do is place your cursor between the curly brackets of the main method and hit Enter a couple of times. Okay, and it's right here in the main method where we're going to input our code, and we're only going to input one line of code. We're going to do the standard hello world message. Okay, so make sure you save your code, and let's run the Scala project. And in the console at the bottom of Eclipse, you should see Hello World output. I'd like to ask you to take a screenshot of Eclipse so that I can see your code, and so that I can also see that you've executed the code. So take a screenshot of that, save it off somewhere, and now we're going to create a second Scala project, and this next project that we create is going to contain two Scala files, a class and an object. So let's create a new Scala project, and we're going to call it my second Scala project. We're going to add a package to the source folder that has the same name, my second Scala project. And now this time, instead of adding a Scala object, first we're going to add a Scala class to the package. So select the package, then do a right click, select new, and then we're going to add a Scala class. It's going to be named car. Okay? And then you can push on finish. Okay? Now let's add some code into this car class. Okay, save the code, and we've created a class that takes a parameter, an integer named year. We've created a field in the class named miles driven. It's an integer. We're also initializing it so that it has a value of 0. And we've defined two methods, miles and drive. The miles method returns miles driven, and the drive method changes miles driven. Okay, so that's our class. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add an object to our package. And we're going to name it car demo, and we're going to make sure that it has a main method. So the name of the object is car demo, and make sure you have a check mark beside the main method. And push on finish. And then just like we did the last time in our Scala object, place your cursor between the curly brackets after the main method and hit enter a couple of times. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an instance of our car, and then we're going to access its methods. Okay, so at the top we've created an instance of our car, okay, and then down below we're calling the miles method, we're calling the drive method, and we're also getting the value in the instance variable, year. Okay, so let's save this code and let's run the Scala object named car demo. And you should see output in the console that resembles what you see in the console. Okay, so that concludes the Scala setup assignment. Okay. As a matter of fact, though, before we can continue, would you please take a screenshot of Eclipse now so that I can see your second Scala project and the code in the car demo class, and also the output of the program when you run it. So please take a screenshot of this and save that screenshot off somewhere. Okay, and as I was mentioning before, this concludes the Scala setup assignment. So make sure that you upload all the screenshots that you took, and also make sure that you upload those 2 Scala projects. Okay, so I'm going to go out to where I just saved those projects in my new workspace, Workspace Kepler Scala. Okay, and there they are. So you can select both of those projects, do a right click, and send them off to a zip file. And that's what you'll be uploading. Okay, everybody, thank you. I hope everything went smoothly for you. If you did encounter any issues, don't hesitate to let me know. Thanks a lot.